Imagine gliding over the edge of the world, where golden bridges dance with the waves under a rising sun. From the crystal clear waters below to the majestic snow-capped peaks above, nature here feels endless and untouched. This is Norway, a land where clouds race over vibrant green valleys, and every turn reveals a new dramatic wonder. It can feel overwhelming. Tiny villages sit humbly beneath massive cliffs, reminding us just how powerful nature truly is. But don't worry about planning. I am here to guide you through the ultimate cinematic journey of this breathtaking country. Together, we will drive through deep, winding valleys, chasing waterfalls and soaking in the summer light. We will witness the pulse of modern cities as day turns to dusk, blending urban life with the wild outdoors. From polar bears to the northern lights, stay with me until the end to discover the secrets of the Arctic. But first, we fly deep into the frozen north. Here, in the stark white tundra of Svalbard, lies a secret. This futuristic entrance leads to the global seed vault. Hidden in the ice, it safeguards the future of all humanity. Inside these frozen tunnels, millions of seeds from every corner of the globe are protected against any disaster. Norway also protects the planet. It is a pioneer in clean energy, harnessing the raw power of its thundering waterfalls. Wind and water provide almost all the electricity here, creating a model for a sustainable green future. Even on the road, silence reigns. Electric vehicles glide through pristine forests, keeping the air clean and crisp. Their culture is just as vibrant. On National Day, you won't see tanks, but miles of happy children celebrating with joy. It is a heartwarming display of national pride, where the focus is on community, peace, and the future generation. History lives here too. These medieval stave churches with their dragon heads look like they belong in a fantasy novel. Built centuries ago without a single nail, the intricate wood carvings tell stories of Viking craftsmanship. They stand solitary in the landscape, a timeless reminder of Norway's deep connection between heritage and nature. Now, let's begin our physical journey. We zoom in to the west coast, to the historic gateway of the fjords, Bergen. Welcome to Bergen. Surrounded by 7 mountains and the sea, this harbor city is the beating heart. From the mountaintop, the world opens up. Clouds drift lazily over the city, and the fjords stretch endlessly into the horizon. Down by the water stands Bergen fortress. Its ancient stone walls have guarded this harbor against invaders for centuries. The Rosenkrantz Tower looms large, a silent witness to kings, battles, and the rich medieval history of this coastal city. But the city is alive. Down at the market, fishmongers toss the day's fresh catch with energy and a smile. Leaving the city behind, we speed across the water, journeying deep inland where the true giants of nature await. Welcome to Flom. Nestled deep at the end of the valley, this tiny village feels like a secret hidden by the mountains. Here, the famous green train defies gravity, clinging to the cliff edge on one of the steepest railway tracks in the world. Glued to the window, you watch red farmhouses and rushing rivers blur past as you climb higher and higher. Suddenly, the train stops. The thunderous roar of Kjosfossen waterfall fills the air, spraying mist on your face. Looking down, the Flåmdalen Valley cuts a green path through the rock, guiding the river all the way to the sea. This river leads to Norway Fjord. It is the narrowest fjord in Europe, where the silence is as deep as the water itself. Drifting quietly on an electric boat, you feel incredibly small next to cliffs that rise thousands of feet straight up. To see it all from above, head to Stegestan. This wooden ramp juts out into thin air, hanging high above the fjord. Walking to the edge takes courage. Through the glass, the drop is dizzying, offering a thrill you won't forget. Our journey continues north on the map, winding through the mountains to reach the crown jewel of the fjords. Welcome to Geiranger. Famous for its serpentine shape and emerald green waters, it is a masterpiece of nature. Here, the Seven Sisters waterfall dances down the cliff face in 7 distinct streams, creating rainbows in the mist. Across the water, the lonely Suitor waterfall falls in the shape of a bottle, forever trying to woo the sisters. High on the vertical cliffs, abandoned farms cling to the edge, reminding us of the resilient people who once lived here. Today, hikers scramble up these steep, rocky trails, pushing themselves for the reward of a lifetime view. For the ultimate view, drive up to the snow-covered peak of Dalsniba, where the skywalk hangs over the clouds. From here, at the top of the world, the entire fjord stretches out below you like a living map. But the way down is an adventure itself. This is Trollstigen, a dizzying maze of 11 hairpin turns. Grip the wheel tight as you wind down the mountain, banking left and right on this legendary road. You even cross directly in front of a thundering waterfall, feeling the power of nature wash over the bridge. Once you reach the top, the modern viewing platform offers a moment of peace and a heart-stopping view. From the wild mountains, we fly back to the coast to discover Alesund, a city scattered across islands in the sea. Look closer at the buildings. You'll see dragons, flowers, and faces carved into stone, telling stories of the past. In 1904, a massive fire reduced this city to ashes. It was a tragedy that left thousands without a home. But like a phoenix, it rose again. Rebuilt in Art Nouveau style, it is now considered the most beautiful city in Norway. To see it all, climb the 418 steps to Mount Axla. It's a workout, but the reward is waiting at the top. As the sun sets, the city glows pink and gold against the backdrop of the majestic Sunnmøre Alps. But nature calls again. A short boat ride takes us to the wild cliffs of Runde Island, rising straight from the ocean. Meet the locals. The puffin, with its colorful beak and sad eyes, is the undisputed star of this island. Watch them launch off the cliffs. They aren't the most graceful flyers, but they are masters of the sea. Leaving the birds behind, we speed north along the rugged coastline, heading towards the ancient capital. Welcome to Trondheim. Dominated by the green spire of Nidaros Cathedral, this city is the spiritual heart of Norway. Standing before the massive dark stone front of the cathedral, you feel the weight of history and holiness. Statues of kings and saints look down on you. This is the burial place of Saint Olaf, the Viking king. Crossing the river, the red gates of the old town bridge welcome you to the colorful wharves of Dokkalande. High on the hill stands the white Kristiansand fortress. For centuries, its cannons have kept watch over the city. From here, you can see Munkholmen Island in the fjord, a tiny speck of land with a very dark past. It has been an execution ground, a prison, and a monastery. Today, though, it's just a peaceful beach. Now, watch closely. We're crossing the Arctic Circle. The world is about to change into something wild. Welcome to Lofoten. Here, the mountains are sharper, the ocean is deeper, and nature feels untamed. This is Rene. It looks like a painting with tiny islands strung together by bridges at the foot of giants. These red cabins are called roerbuer. Originally for cold fishermen, they are now the coziest place to stay. The path to the top is steep. Stone steps built by Sherpas lead you up, testing your legs with every stride. But when you reach the summit, the pain vanishes. The view of the wall of mountains is simply unforgettable. Nearby at Hamnoy, the cabins cling to the rocks, braving the storms of the Atlantic in spectacular fashion. Now we cross the Arctic Circle. The landscapes change dramatically, entering a world of wild, untamed beauty. Welcome to Lofoten. Here, razor-sharp granite peaks rise straight from the ocean, piercing the sky like jagged teeth. This is rain. It looks like a fantasy, with tiny islands strung together by bridges at the foot of giants. These red cabins are called rorbuer. Originally built for cold fishermen, they are now cozy retreats for travelers. For the best view, tackle the rain-bringing stairs. It's a tough climb, step by step, up the steep mountain face. But the summit reward is legendary. The view of the archipelago winding into the distance is simply unforgettable. Just nearby is Hamnøy. Here, cabins cling to the rocky shore, braving the wild Atlantic storms in spectacular fashion. Further east lies Henningsvær. This charming fishing village is spread across tiny islands connected by stone bridges. It is home to this, undeniably the most epic football field on Earth, surrounded by drying fish and crashing waves. Imagine playing here as a kid, with the sea as your spectator and mountains as your stadium walls. In summer, the sun never sets. It dips low, kisses the horizon, and bounces back up, creating endless days. This golden light bathes the mountains and flowers in a surreal glow at 1 a.m., energizing your soul. But in winter, the world turns blue. Deep snow covers the cabins, and the polar twilight brings a mystical silence. Moving just north of Lofoten, the landscape opens up. This is Vesterålen, a hidden gem where giants come to play. It offers a wilder, quieter beauty than its famous neighbor, with endless white beaches and rolling green hills. Head out to sea and excitement builds. The deep, nutrient-rich waters here are a perfect dining hall for whales. Suddenly, a sperm whale surfaces. Seeing these massive creatures breathe in the wild is a humbling experience. Then comes the dive. The massive tail lifts gracefully against the Arctic horizon, waving goodbye before disappearing deep. Back on land, the scenic route Andøya beckons. It is one of the most beautiful road trips you will ever take. You'll find Bleak Beach here. With its white sands and turquoise water, it looks tropical until you feel the ice-cold wind. Just offshore stands the bird rock Bleaksoya. It buzzes with life, home to thousands of puffins and soaring eagles. Don't miss Niksund, once a ghost town abandoned to the elements. It has been brought back to life by artists. Inside the weathered buildings, you'll find warm, creative cafes where history and modern art blend perfectly. It stands defiant on the edge of the world, a testament to human resilience against the wild, open ocean. Leaving the islands, we continue our journey north on the map, heading towards the gateway of the high Arctic. Welcome to Tromso. As twilight falls, the Paris of the north lights up, glowing warmly against the snowy mountains. Suddenly, the sky ignites. Ribbons of green and purple dance overhead in the world's greatest light show. Standing in the freezing cold, watching the heavens dance is a spiritual moment that stays with you forever. For the best view, ride the Fjellheisen cable car up the mountain in the dark, leaving the city lights behind. From the top, the island city sparkles like a jewel floating in the dark waters of the Arctic fjord. But the Arctic is also about action. Meet the huskies, full of energy, barking and eager to run. Feel the rush as you glide silently through snowy pine forests, pulled by a team of powerful dogs. Nearby, the Lyngen Alps rise sharply from the sea, a dramatic playground for skiers and adventurers. Imagine skiing untouched powder from the very summit all the way down to the shoreline. Pure freedom. This is also the land of the Sami. For centuries, they have lived here in harmony with their reindeer herds. Inside a warm Lavu tent, gathering around the fire and listening to ancient stories warms the soul. Now we leave the mainland. We fly far north across the frozen ocean to the very top of the world. Welcome to Svalbard, a brutal, beautiful wilderness where massive blue glaciers crash directly into the freezing sea. Here lies Longyearbyen, a tiny splash of color in a vast white valley, the northernmost town on Earth. This sign is no joke. Here, you are in the kingdom of the polar bear, and you must always be careful. The king of the Arctic roams these ice sheets. Seeing a polar bear in the wild is a rare, humbling privilege. But they aren't alone. Massive walruses haul themselves onto the beaches, resting in piles on the shore. For a haunting trip, visit Pyramid, an abandoned Soviet mining town that stands silent at the foot of the mountain. Inside, time has stopped. A dusty piano sits silent in a concert hall that hasn't heard music in decades. In winter, the only way to explore this frozen world is by snowmobile, racing across the vast white glaciers. During the polar night, the sun never rises. At noon, the town lives in darkness, lit only by street lamps. But in summer, the sun never sets. It circles the sky day and night, refusing to let the day end. Despite the extreme cold outside, life inside is warm. Cafes here are cozy, serving the world's northernmost coffee. Explorers still come here on sturdy ships, breaking through the sea ice to witness the raw power of the north. Here, ancient glacier ice rests on black beaches like diamonds, melting slowly back into the ocean. Behold Preikestolen, the pulpit rock, a massive square platform hanging nearly 2,000 feet straight above the fjord. Sitting on the edge, legs dangling over the abyss, is a thrill that sends your heart racing. From above, the sheer drop looks terrifying, a crack in the earth defying gravity for thousands of years. For the truly brave, Kjerringbolten awaits, a giant boulder wedged tightly between two vertical cliff walls. Stepping onto the rock, suspended over a 3,000-foot drop, is the ultimate test of courage. Don't look down. These cliffs are a magnet for thrill seekers. Watch as base jumpers leap into the void, flying like birds. From below, on a boat, the scale is humbling. The massive rock overhangs loom high above the water. Look closely. Mountain goats graze effortlessly on slopes so steep they seem impossible to climb. Leaving the west coast, we fly east over deep forests and lakes, heading towards the beating heart of the nation. Welcome to Oslo, a city where modern glass architecture meets the sea, surrounded by green hills. History stands guard here. Akerhus Fortress has protected this harbor and its people for over 700 years. But the future is here too. The Oslo Opera House rises from the water like a glistening white iceberg. It invites you to walk on its roof, stroll up the white marble slopes for a new perspective on the city. Nearby lies Frogner Park. It is a masterpiece of symmetry and green space, loved by locals and visitors alike. At its center stands the monolith, a column of intertwined human bodies carved from a single piece of stone. High above the city towers the Holmenkollen ski jump, a steel giant that is a holy site for winter sports. Imagine standing here as a skier, staring down the steep ramp with the entire city spread out far below. As the sun sets, the waterfront comes alive. People gather to enjoy good food and the golden evening light. From the warm smiles of the people to the cold grandeur of the mountains, Norway welcomes you with open arms. We've seen it all, from the northern lights dancing in the sky to trains climbing steep mountains. From whales diving in the deep ocean to hikers standing on top of the world. What a journey! Norway is not just a destination, it's a feeling, a reminder of how magnificent our planet truly is. If you enjoyed this adventure, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss our next journey. Now, I want to know, where will your adventure start? Tell me in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Until next time, keep exploring and safe travels.